Okay, so I'm going to show you how to blog today. This is using Visual Composer as a, page editor, which is using this plugin, Visual Composer. It adds some different features to blogging, and I'll show you what those differences are. So this is a blog that needs to be changed or created. If you want to edit an existing blog, you navigate to it and click Edit Post, and to create new, you click New Post. If you click Edit, you'll be taken to the same screen as if you created new. So we're going to edit this post here. One of the good things about editing an existing post or cloning an existing post is that you get to steal some of the attributes that have already been set up. But in this case, we're just going to go to the back end, and I'll show another way of accessing these two options. So we go to the menu. Blogs live here under posts. So we're going to go to all posts. And this is the same post as we saw if we went to the blog the other way. So blog on this site is through here under blog, and it was the article here. So this is the page that displays all blogs in a list order, and if we click on the particular post, we will get to the page that we started with. So that page here is this page. So we've got the option of editing, quick editing, viewing, or editing with Visual Composer. Just click Edit. Once you're in the edit screen, you can choose to edit as you would if we didn't have Visual Composer, or by using Visual Composer. The differences are that if we were to edit using what's called classic mode, we would just have a text box we could change. Using Visual Composer, we can specify different areas. So there happens to be two areas here. One is just a normal text box, which would be the same if we didn't use Visual Composer. But the advantage of using it is that we can then add other things like buttons very easily. So if this was blank, if this page was blank, if we had just created a new post, then there wouldn't be anything in here, and we would go Add New, and we would choose Text Block, which is effectively exactly the same as this one here, and we would start entering our text, and we would add a call to action by going to plus and then finding the call to action and setting those buttons. So that's what we would do if there was nothing on this page, and we would set up some values here, which I'll show you how to do through editing. So we don't want to do that, so I'm just going to delete this rubbish bin here on the right on these two. Now we're back to what we had before, editing, and what I'll show you with the editing is the same as what you would do if you're adding new. Just quickly on the right hand side, this happens to be a quote style blog that specifies that we wanted a quote in the header. We could have different types. Standard, which is pretty much the standard blog, which doesn't have a quote, just has a title. Video, if we want to display a video. Gallery or audio. We've also got categories. This is important. We should add categories. Under this particular blog, we're talking about our first blog and goals, so they are categories. Tags are some of the tags like hashtags we want. And the featured image is the image that will appear at the top. These other options that relate to the theme we can ignore unless we want to do anything special. So I will pull those ones up. Under the discussion section, if we wanted to allow comments and it wasn't turned on globally, we could allow it here. If there were any comments or comments that we could review, we would see them here, and we can add our own. We need to choose the author for this particular post, which happens to be Kate, which I've changed. So we'll just some other bits and pieces here, which is around that relates specifically to the fact that we've chose quote. This is the text down the bottom here that relates to that. So based on the post format, this area will be different, and in this particular category area, this is where the quote information at the top comes from. I'm going to just hide that for a second and forget about that. What we've got within here is the text area, which is effectively our blog, and a button, or in this case it's downloading the printable. So in this example we would add a new text box and then we'd edit it, and this will load up. We can make this bigger, getting rid of some other bits and pieces we want to. And I'll move this guy across and we'll make him a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. So we're really adding text, and just like you would in Microsoft Word, we've got this here. This is the text. If we wanted to change that text, which we do, then we can just edit it, much like Microsoft Word. I'm going to change some of this text now. This is on the visual tab. The text tab is the tab which, if you know what you're doing, technically you'd go to, but we don't need to use that. We just need to use this. If we want to make something bold, we select it and make it bold, just like you would in Microsoft Word. So you add the text you want in here. You don't change anything else. You don't worry about these other bits, these other three, which are really used, and then you save your changes. So I'm not going to do that. It's fine. So we would have added all this in here. Then, because this particular blog and others in the future have a call to action is just a button type, we've added that through the add call to action. And then once we go in there and we click this, which is the edit option, it'll load up the call to action. Now, again, we don't need to use all of these options, but there's two options we need to change. One is the heading. So the heading is what appears here. And I've added a special plugin. So I'm going to get rid of this guy. This is kind of our text editor. I've added a special plugin which appears, which is called PDF Viewer, I think, or PDF, something like that, PDF Viewer. And how we add that is that if we go to insert a piece of media, so we go add media, so if you wanted to add an image or a PDF, you click on add media, you upload the PDF you want to show here. So I'm going to just choose this guy. In this case, because I've added this plugin, it's called PDF Embedder. There we go. We say we want to link to the media file, not the attachment page, the media file. Give it a name. And if we insert that in our post, it'll take, this is the same process you'd use if you're inserting a piece of media. You need to go insert into post. If we wait just a few seconds, it will insert this kind of what's called a short code, but it's all the code we need. It's basically allowing this plugin to display that PDF on the page. So we'll save that. We'll click update. Now, this particular plugin, basically the call to action puts everything around this gray thing, gives it a title, and then displays the PDF underneath. So that is how we add text to our blog, add categories, and add this bit here. This sidebar is generic on all of the blog posts. This happened to be a quote, like we said, quote format, so that won't change. And if we wanted to change the image on top, we would use the, we would remove the featured image. And then, so I'll show you this. You'd set the featured image. You would find the featured image that you wanted to insert, and you click set featured image, which will put the images there, and then you click update for that to come and appear on the blog. We go to the blog post, and refresh the page, we can see that no changes should be made. Just checking everything's back to where it should be. The last thing that I think I should note is the title of the blog, and that is up here. So whatever you put here is the title of the blog. Also, if you've created new and you put a title here, this URL will permalink, which is a URL, will take those values. If you're editing a post and you want to change the value here, so if we wanted to change this, I believe in you, like that, then you would need to click the edit, change it in there, and click OK. It's only if you've edited. This happens to be a special character, so it's not going to change the URL. You click update after you've done anything, and once it's loaded, you'll get a notification that says view post. You click on view post, and your blog will be there. So that's blogging 101, and good luck. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.